Okay, we're going to look at measures of central tendency, and we're going to focus on three specifically: the mean, the median, and the mode. The mean, also known as the average, is the sum of all the values, so the sum of all the data divided by the number of values. It's sometimes in statistics, or very commonly represented by an X with a bar across it, sometimes referred to as X bar. And a formula could look something like this. Almost looks like an E here. It represents the sum of. Okay, so this means the sum of, and here we have x subset 1. That means the first set of data to xn, which means the last set of data here. So if you take a look at this, there's about, what that means is all the piece of data. In other words, what we have here, all data sets. And n representing the last number. Whatever that last number is, that's how many values there are. So that's the number of values. So if it's ever written this way, that's all that's really saying. Sum of all values divided by number of values, also known as the average. Median is the middle value when everything is ordered from least to greatest, or vice versa, from greatest to least. You can still easily find the middle value. And the mode is the most common value. So I'm going to jump over here. I have a list of the population centers in Ontario. It's a large set of data. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to bring it to a Google spreadsheet here, which will speed this up a little. Will help us with calculating all this stuff. So I'm going to Command C. I have a Google spreadsheet here. I don't have any titles, so I'm going to put it in the second row. There we go. I don't need this column here. This one can be deleted. We already have numbers on the left. These are the city names, so those are important. The type of urban area, not so important, so I'm going to delete that column. And then this was information, I think, from 2005. A little outdated. I'm going to quickly check. I prefer 2011 information. Great. So I've used this data before in other videos. Here are our cities and populations in 2011. So we have all this information here. So I'm going to put populations of Ontario. So we want to find the average. And normally, to find the average of all this information, we would have to, by hand, and we'll quickly show you what that possibly could look like. Bring up this little calculator. I would have to start putting in these values. So we start with Toronto, 5,132,794 plus 9, 7. And clearly, I'm not very fast at this. Plus. So far, I got two values in the course of, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. And we have to get up to 271 values. There's only a few values. Okay, easy to do on a calculator. But a spreadsheet is far more efficient when we have something like 270 values. So what's really neat about spreadsheet type software is formulas are built in. So if I hit the equal sign and I put mean, no, only goes to medium. Sorry, it's probably average. There we go. I start finding average. So the numerical average value in a data set, ignoring text. Great. So I hit average, and it tells me to highlight all of the numbers I wanted counted in the average. So we'll go right up. I can actually probably include populations in 2011 because I think it said ignoring data sets, but we're going to leave that out because we know it's not a number. And we hit enter, and our average, I'm just going to give it a title here, the average population in Ontario is 40,910. Way faster than adding them all up than dividing by 270 because that's how many pieces of data we have. So much, much faster that way. What about median? We already saw, when I typed in mean, that there's a formula for median. So and let's find out what the median value is. Well, same concept. This data is ordered from greatest to least. Taking longer than I thought to scroll. There we go. We're not including the average in there. And our median is 3,517. I'm going to very quickly search this page, so Control F. 3,513. Figure out where that number is. It seems to show up. I have a comma in it. There we go. It only shows up one time. So here's what I'm going to quickly do. We're going to very quickly get up to about the 3,000 mark and take a look. 3,500. Take a look at this value. 513. Here we go. So that number would fall between Kempville and Campbellford. Campbellford and Kempville. I don't know either city, but that's okay. It should fall somewhere in between those two. That's odd. Well, because we had an even number of data set, if you guys recall, we had, I think it was 270 pieces of data, okay? And if we divide that value by 2, it goes in once, 3 times, 5 times, 135. And remember, we're one number off here because there's titles, so this would be number 135. It goes in evenly. So what that actually means is between 135 and 136, that's where our median is. So it needs to find the average of those two values and get the number in between. So that should be the number in between. Let's double check. So 3,532. We do this one by hand. 3,493. We're going to do a quick addition. So 5, 12, 10, 7. And I'm going to divide divide this number by 2 because there's 2 pieces of data. 1, 2.5. So it rounded up to, so we had 3,512.5. It rounded up to 3,513. So it calculated our median. Our median fell right between those two values. If we're lucky to have an odd number, so remember this was an even number of data set. If we had an odd one, it would have fell on an exact number and we would have just chosen it. So say the first value had been taken away, it probably would have fell right on this value right here as our median. Okay, but because it's an even set, we actually have to do some calculations. Great. Okay, and now finally, the last thing we need to do, I'm going to scroll to the bottom again. There we go. We want to find the mode. So there's a function for mode. We hit equals MODE. There we go. Mode in the data set. We put it in brackets and highlight all of the data we want to search for the mode. Let's see. Our mode is 5,935. Interesting. Let's type that value in. 5,935. It occurs only that one time. So let's scroll up here. 535. There it is. Oh, I wonder why I didn't. Oh, I had commas. Sorry, I hadn't had the comma. There we go. Gravenhurst and Brighton have the exact same population. They're probably the only 2 cities in all of Ontario that were counted in this list that have populations that are the same. So there's our mode. A mode of 2. Everything else had a different population, which kind of makes sense for what we're doing. So let's scroll back down to the bottom again. Whoops, overshot it by quite a bit. There's our average, 40,910. The median, which was the average of 2 numbers, was 3,513. And the mode, the only number to occur more than once, was 5,935. There we go.